if you are going to create a mixture, mayroong free energy associated doon sa mixture na yon. And how do we calculate the free energy for mixing? So the equation that you will use is this. Gibbs free energy of mixing is equal to nRT, and take the summation of the mole fraction times the ln of the mole fraction. You can also calculate the entropy of mixing. Siyempre kapag nagmi-mix tayo, magkakaroon ng disorder. So to calculate the entropy of mixing, that will be equal to minus nr, and take the sum of the mole fraction ng bawat species or components times the ln of the mole fractions. Now, please take note that this free energy and entropy that we are going to calculate here, okay, gagamitin mo yung equation na yan for reacting mixtures only. Okay? Sorry, it should be non-reacting mixtures. Walang pakialam sa isa't isa yung mga components. Let's say you have a mixture of yung mga gases like helium, argon, yung mga inert na gases. Okay, so let's have an example. So, let's say you have 1 mole of helium and 2 moles of argon, tsaka 3 moles of nitrogen gas. So obviously, itong mga to hindi nagre-react sa isa't isa. Alright? So let's calculate first the mole fraction of each. So yung mole fraction ni helium will be, ang gagawin mo lang naman dito is to take the sum of the number of moles. So that would be 6 moles total. Okay? So ang gagawin mo, every amount you divide by 6. So for helium, that will become 0.167. For argon, 0.333. And obviously for nitrogen gas, that's half, no? 0.5. Now, let's calculate yung free energy of mixing. So the free energy of mixing is equal to nRT, the summation of xi, ln of xi, where xi is the mole fraction of each component. Okay. So n is equal to 6, yung total number of moles. Okay, kaya big letter N yan kasi total. And then R, hindi ko na isusulat, but that's 8.314. Temperature, I forgot to include, but let's say na temperature natin is 298 Kelvin. Okay, so 298. And then the sum of xi, ln, xi for all components. Okay, so that would become 0.167 ln of 0.167 plus 0.333 ln of 0.333 plus 0.5 ln of 0.5. So kunin mo yung calculator mo, ang lalabas na free energy of mixing ay minus 15.0 kilojoules, which is a favorable process. Spontaneous siya, exergonic kasi negative. Alright? If you are also interested in calculating the entropy of mixing, okay, that will be what? The formula is nR times the summation xi ln of xi. Negative to, by the way. Or what you can do is just take the value of the Gibbs free energy of mixing and divide by the temperature. Okay? Tapos take note na negative siya. So, you will get in joules, no, 50.3 joules per Kelvin. Yan yung sagot for the entropy of mixing. Also, if you want to calculate or determine the volume of mixing, no? Or change in volume rather, kapag pinaghalo mo yung mga nakalagay na components, and remember, these components do not react with each other. So kapag hindi reacting, yung change in volume will basically be 0. And actually, garon din kapag you wanna determine the enthalpy of mixing. So the change in enthalpy, if you mix these non-reacting components, that will also be equal to 0.